Hello and welcome. My name is Sherry Dawn. Thank you for joining me today. Today I will be guiding you through a 20-minute class for your hips and core. As always, if any of my suggestions aren't right for your body, please honor your boundaries while gently testing your limits. Today we will not be using any props for this class, so please join me on your mat. Tune into the body, so roll on down to your back, elbow, and let the body come down nice and gentle and easy. Place the feet to the mat. Bring the hands down next to your side. And let's start to bring a little bit of awareness to the lower body, that pelvic floor and the core. Take a nice, long, deep, slow breath in, and let's go ahead and relax through the entire back side of the body and just sink on into the earth. Maybe let those knees fall in for just a moment. Just tune into yourself with a few breaths here. One more long, deep, slow breath. Now let's go ahead and set those knees straight up to the sky and turn your attention to the pelvic floor. And engage the pelvic floor like stopping the flow of urine or holding in a bowel movement. And just gently engage, not really making anything happen, just engaging those low core muscles, those low pelvic floor muscles. And relax. Do that a few more times. And then let's add to that movement by slowly turning the pubic bone towards the navel towards the spine, and pressing the low back to the earth. And then let it relax, coming back to neutral. And do that a couple of more times, just starting to wake up that low body. Press that low back to the earth. Inhale to relax. Last one. Just gently engage that pelvic floor, pubic bone to the navel to the spine. And let's hold this engagement for just a breath here. Engage through the hip flexors and pick that right foot up and then set it down. Pick the left foot up and set it down. One more time. Right foot comes up, set it down. Left foot comes up and set it down. Plant both feet to the earth and gently press through those feet and roll that tailbone up and lift those hips up as much as you can. When they come as high as they can, tuck that tailbone and roll it on back down, letting those hips float to the earth. One more. Exhale. Gently roll through that pelvis. Lift the hips up into the sky to the top that they can come easily. Tuck the tailbone. Lower it back down. We're going to do that one more time. Exhale. Press through. Roll to the low back. Articulate through the spine. Lift it. Now hold right here at the top for a breath. Tuck those shoulder blades in a little bit. Let's bring those hands underneath the sacrum and interlace the fingers. Drop those hips down just a little bit. And then exhale. Press them back to the sky. One more of those. Drop those hips down a little bit. And then press them back to the sky. Unlace those fingers. Bring the hands back to the sides. Tuck that tailbone and roll on in, right leg floats out. Right leg comes in, left leg floats out. Left leg comes in, right leg floats out. Right knee comes into the chest. Let's let those legs give us a little momentum and roll head to tail a couple times. And roll on through into all fours. Now, if you have any issues with your knees, please bring something underneath your knees. If you have any issues with your wrists, you can roll them and bring those hands up a little bit to change the angle of those wrists and those knees. If we have no issues, let's just go ahead and bring those hands right underneath the shoulders and the knees right underneath the hips. Let's curl those toes into the mat to create just a little bit of resistance here. And then again, let's focus on that pelvic floor. Draw the pelvic floor up as though we're stopping the flow of urine. Same sequence. We bring the pubic bone to the navel, navel to the spine. And release to a nice neutral position. One more. Exhale. Navel to the spine, pubic bone to the navel, gently engaging to the core. Now press through those hands and lift those knees up just a little bit. And feel that resistance, then let them down. Press through the hands, press through the toes, engage the core, lift those knees up just a little bit. And set them down. We'll do that one more time. Engage through those hands, lift those knees up just a little bit. Hover here for a couple of breaths. And now set those knees down. Remember that feeling through the core as we then reach that right leg back and behind us. Let's flex that foot so it faces the earth. Press the back of the knee to the sky. And let's engage through that core. Slide that body forward, shoulders towards the fingertips. And then draw it back, hips towards the heel. And again, slide that body forward. And then draw that body back. One more time. Slide that body forward. And draw that body back. Center right over that leg. And then release that right leg to the earth. Left leg reaches on out. Press that back of the knee to the sky. Bring those toes to the earth. Make sure that pelvis is level. Engage through that core. Try to breathe into this position, and then let's start to shift that weight again. Forward and back. And forward and back. One more. Slide that weight forward and back. Now find that nice stable position. Release that right leg back to the earth. With one big, long, deep, slow breath on the exhale. Press through those hands again. Lift those knees up a little bit. Engage through that core. Release that head between those biceps and slide those shoulders towards the hips. One more breath here in our downward facing dog. On the next inhale, lift that head up, pick that right leg, right heel from the earth, bend the knee, and let's shift the body weight forward, step that right. Press through those feet, unweight the hands, and reach those arms up into the sky as the shoulders come right over the top. Back heel should be right over the top of the ball of the foot. Shoulders down into the spine, open through the heart. One more long deep breath here. Let's release those hands on down to the sides. And then we're going to bend that left knee just a little bit. Tuck foot up and press it back down into downward facing dog. Pedal those feet a couple of times. Inhale, bend both knees, lift the heels, gaze to the hands, and now exhale, send both heels to the earth. Straighten the knees. Nice, strong, and stable downward facing dog. Find a few breaths here. Maybe wiggling the head a little bit. If you need, maybe pedal those. Inhale. Let's lift that head. Gaze to the hands. Bend that right knee and drop back up. Find that lunge one more time. Long, deep breath here. This time we're going to drop that left knee to the earth. Bring the hands to the top of that right knee. And then drop the hips forward into a little lower lunge. Untuck those back toes. Bring it back up. Drop it back down. Coming back up. One more of those. Dropping it back down. And bringing it back up. Curl those toes back into the mat. Hands coming to the earth. Press it back downward facing dog. Find that down dog. One or two breaths. Gaze up to the hands. This time that left leg steps up between those hands. Press through the feet. Lengthen through that back leg. Inhale, on with those hands and reach those hands up to the sky. Let's find that high lunge. Long, deep breath here. Draw that pubic bone forward, navel to the spine. Really plug that left femur into the hip joint and then bend that right knee. Send it back to the sky. Two more of those. Drop that knee down. Press it to the sky. Last one. Let's bend that knee and let it hover just a little. And then press it back to the sky. Tuck that tailbone. Strengthen those legs. Strong low core. Float those hands back down to the earth. Now let's step it back, downward facing dog. Pedal through that down dog a couple of times if you need. And then bend those knees. Lift those heels. Gaze to the hands to set everything into alignment. Exhale. Drop that head between the biceps, heels to the earth. Downward facing dog. Long deep breath. And let's work on that low lunge one more time. Gaze to the hands. Step that right foot between the hands. Nice. Wrong side. Straight it back. Left leg steps up. Right knee comes to the earth. Hands come to the left knee. Set that body on top of those hips. And drop those hips a little closer to the earth. Bring them back up. Drop them down a little. Bring them up. Last one. Drop those hips down. Opening up just a little bit more. Untucking those toes in the back. Retuck those toes. Float those hands to the earth. Press it back. Downward facing dog. Long deep breath here. Again, setting your alignment. If you need to pedal the legs, slide the shoulders towards the hips. Release the head closer to the earth. Inhale. Shift your body weight forward. Bend those knees. Drop the knees to the earth. Drop the hips to the heels. And find yourself in a nice child's pose. Long deep breath here.
On the inhale, we're going to tuck that tailbone and draw that navel to the spine again. Draw the hands towards the knees as we roll up gently, stacking the shoulders over the hips. And then draw those shoulders down into the spine and let those arms be heavy. On the next inhale, go ahead and reach those arms up to the sky. Gaze to the sky just a little bit. And let's press those ankles and shins into the earth. Unflex the knees, unflex the hips. Gaze up to the sky. And on the exhale, reverse that movement. Flex at the hips, flex at the knees, and now turn the palms down. Float the body down. Coming back into child's pose. Inhale, pick the head up, press through the shins, draw the body up. And again, reach up to the sky, unhinging at the hips and knees. And on this exhale, let's drop those hands down parallel to the shoulders and turn to the right. Reach those arms out. Draw that right hip forward. Inhale, reach up, unwind. Exhale. Again, twist to the left. Drop those hands parallel to the shoulders. Draw that left hip forward. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. And on this exhale, bow to the earth. Hinge at the hips, bend the knees, float the body down, trying to keep the spine long, navel towards the spine. One more of that sequence, just to stay. Inhale, tuck the tailbone, draw the upper body towards the lower body. Sitting on the heels, engage through the core, engage through the glutes, lift those hips up off of those heels. Inhale, reach the hands to the sky. On that exhale, twist to the right, drop those arms parallel to the shoulders, right hip pulling forward, gazing back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Open those arms up. Reach those wings wide. Inhale, reach up, unwind. And exhale, bow to the earth. Flexing at the hips and knees. Keep the spine straight. Heart open. And come to rest in child's pose. Rock back and forth. One more long, deep breath here. Inhale, navel to the spine. Draw that upper body towards the lower body. Roll up one vertebra at a time. Kick those legs off to one side. Bring the feet to the mat. Bring the hips to the middle of the mat. Now reach those arms out. Now hook the hamstrings. Tuck the tailbone, navel to the spine, pubic bone break. As we roll ourselves down one vertebra at a time. Reach those legs out long. Reach those hands up over the head and get a nice long body stretch. Exhale, bring those hands over the head, next to the hips. Roll those legs out to the side. If you need to bend the knees a little bit, if the low back is a little tweaky here, please allow your body to come to a nice relaxed position. Now let's turn the mind's eye back into that pelvic floor and that low core that we engaged for our practice today.
the depth of the breath. Feel how engaging through that lower body and that lower core brings a little bit more energy to the body. Focus on how much core and power the body really needs to operate through the day. Know that when your core is weak, the body gets a little more tired in trying to support itself. There's less stability. But to focus on the core for just a few minutes a day, to strengthen the vitality and the strength of the body. Quiet the breath and allow the body to completely release to the earth for a few more breaths. And begin to slowly wake the body back up. Wiggle your fingers and toes a little bit. Bend the knees, pedal the feet, roll the hips, turn and nod the head. And roll on over to one side and press up into an easy seated position. I thank you for allowing me to guide your practice. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing for other beings. And may we awaken to